Similar. We are also an instrumentation company. Where are you
Not correct also.
Management and Research would like to welcome you all. I would like to request our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Pankaj Agarwal, with Director GLP ITM, Dr. Rajiv Agarwal, escort to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Suresh Tripathi, President HRSRF, Guest of Honor Dr. Asif Mahapatra, Director HR Raymonds, Keynote Speaker, Mr. Ramni Iyer, CEO, Forbes Marshall. Sir, please welcome. I would like to call Dr. Mukul Gupta to present a bouquet to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Suresh Tripathi. Now I would like to call Professor Manoj Kumar on stage to present a bouquet to our Guest of Honor, Dr. Asif Mahapatra. I would also like to invite Ms. Deepti Nayak to present a bouquet to our keynote speaker, Mr. Ramni Iyer. I would like to invite Professor Manmeet Kaur to present a bouquet to our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Pankaj Agarwal. I would like to invite Professor Preeti Dixit to present a bouquet to our Director, GLP IGN, Dr. Rajiv Agarwal. Friends, as we all know that a candle lit up in a room, the room gets brighter and brighter. Light always overcome darkness. As lights bring prosperity, hope, success, and blessings of Almighty, we would also like to do the same. Now I would like to call all the dignitaries on dais to come forward and light the candle and start the event with the blessings of Almighty. So please. Are we working proactively and strategically in analyzing and acquiring the competencies need to stay competitive in the future marketplace? Most importantly, are our HR strategies successfully supporting our business strategies and organizational goals? On these notes and thoughts, let's get into our HR Summit, Human Resource Management in Turbulent Times. Before I go ahead, let me spare a few moments of sharing a mission named as GL Bajaj Institute of Management and Research. One of the best management institutions of the country with a simple vision of providing quality education to our global citizens. Since its inception, it has created a benchmark in its education delivery system. Out of many accolades that we have, it has already conferred Outstanding Placement North by Star News for 2012, Outstanding Business School Award by Star News for 2011, Bharat Shirmani Puraskar and Gold Medal for Excellence in Management Education. Friends, I can go on and on. But it's actually not required, what we believe. Our guiding force in global market is stalwarts like you all. Our biggest achievements is our alumnus in corporate. Our biggest strength is our strong force of faculties and staff. Our biggest certification is our current students. Today in this assembly, we would like to throw some light on best practice sharing in human resource and development. In the era when human capital defines the identity of every organization and comprises the core of its success, HR and talent management process have how become a critical business issues at the top from the executive agenda. The foremost priority of any forward-looking company is to retain its key players and continuously involve them in the exploration of new opportunities. As an HR and talent professional, we are also challenged with monitoring development, fairly rewarding employees for the continued efforts. Our HR Summit 2012 will address all the key challenges facing the HR departments of today. Amongst others, you will came to know about HR organizational strategies and development, strategic competence management, employee branding, successful retention strategies. To sum it up, this HR Summit 2012 will feature most influential leaders and experts sharing their success stories, learning experiences, latest updates and smart innovative strategies, ensuring and inspiring the substantial beneficial experiences of our guests. Friends, let's move forward and get into a welcome speech of this consortium. To perform this, I would like to invite a man who dares enough to dream big and achieving the same. An eminent educationist, a philanthropist, protagonist, a true leader with acumen. It's only education that can move this nation forward. Mr. Pankaj Agarwal, our Vice Chairman of R.K. Group of Institutions. A young motivational engine of this brand is committed towards delivering quality of education and nurturing talents for achieving global landmarks. He is having an assortment of rich and diverse experience of over 15 years in the field of education. He believes in creating and managing excellent educational setups as he is religiously followed that knowledge with the skill set will create a silver spoon talents for this country. Shri Pankaj Agarwal, recipient of Gold Medal and Bharat Shirmani Puraskar for his leading contribution in the field of education. As a guiding factor of many young Indians, he implements all his experience in his deliveries to get results with flying colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome our Honorable Chairman, Shri Pankaj Agarwal.
Good morning. all of you. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Suresh Tripathi, President HR SRF, Keynote Speaker, Mr. R.Nayak, CEO, Forbes Marshall, Guest of Honor, Dr. Mapatra, Director, HR Reynolds, eminent speakers from corporate, delegates, and press officials. Today, I would like to welcome each one of you in India Heritage Center on the occasion of August ceremony of HR Summit on transforming leadership, human resource management in turbulent times. I am delighted to be here with such a distinguished array of business moguls who contributed their precious time for gracing this occasion. Friends, over the last few years, we all experienced the downturn in many industries. Economy has highlighted various market and management imperfections. Away from global gloomy headlines, business leaders are looking for trends and evidence to support decisions of the future. A recent survey shows that indecision and different choices prevail, but beyond the words imperative choices will have to be made as businesses are facing a mocking and challenging equation for 2012. Around the world, organizations are taking a serious look at attracting, retaining, and motivating key talents. Among the enduring questions are, do we focus more on base pay? Do we weigh more heavily towards incentives? What if we invest more in training and career planning? Especially in turbulent times, it is a must by the mentors to implement effective and proven human capital management practices to create a successful and supple workforce and can drive performance in the uncertain times. Top CHROs target HR capabilities that fit the strategic needs of the business, including specialized programs and services to tackle issues such as talent management, emerging markets, global mobility, and total rewards. Today, in this chaotic situation, we all will look forward for a better future. On this occasion, I would like to give my best wishes for the success of this HR Summit. I wish you all a very productive summit ahead. Thank you very much. Good day.
Thank you, sir. With your permission, we would like to open the summit. Now, I would like to call a man. I usually call him father of GL Vidal Institute of Management and Research, our director, Dr. Mukul Gupta, to share views and reviews on our RK group of institutes. Before I hand over the microphone, let me tell you something about Dr. Mukul Gupta. Dr. Gupta is a triple management and postgraduate in marketing, HRM, and economics. Moreover, he is a PhD in the field of consumer behavior. His research focuses on marketing, rural marketing, and consumer psychology. Dr. Gupta is a renowned academia, having more than 13 years of experience in training and academics. Professor Gupta has served Michigan Tech University, Michigan, as an adjunct faculty. He has also held an important administrative and academic assignments in various universities like Mahamed Technical University, UP Technical University, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, IIM University, Amity University, and some of them. At various times, he is a lifetime member of ISTD, IIER, UPUEA, and MMA. He has made significant contribution to teaching and research. His articles have been published in leading journals and magazines. He has also authored and co-authored 2 books for PHI. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Mukul Gupta.
A very good morning to all present. It is my profound privilege to brief the profile behalf of our group as well as our institute in front of such an august audience. Let me start with our inspiration, late Shri Ganeshilalji Bajaj. I pay my sincere tribute and homage to our inspiration, late Shri Ganeshilalji Bajaj, who was indeed a multifarious personality, a freedom fighter, a philanthropist, and a dedicated social worker. Ganeshilalji was revered by his benevolence and penchant for hard work. No matter how busy he would remain, he would always find time to not only educate the children of the underprivileged, but also provide them with food, shelter, and articulate to help them come up in their lives. Education leads to enlightenment, he firmly believed. RK Group of institutions have endeavored to imbibe our mentor's spirit and mission to not only grow in our respective fields of interest, but to keep aspiring, praying, and working towards the cause of youth and nation building. RK Group was incorporated in the year 1998. RK Group of Educational Institutions embarked on the journey to promote higher education in North India. In record time, the group has demonstrated a meteoric height and growth and has carved a distinct niche for itself in the field of higher education. Located at Mathura on National Highway 2 and at Greater Noida, the group has embarked on its vision of imparting quality education to thousands of students and budding professionals in the field of management, technology, education, dental sciences, engineering, pharmacy, library sciences, etc. The groups under the umbrella of RK Group are GL Bajaj Institute of Management and Research, Greater Noida, GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, Greater Noida, GL Bajaj Group of Institutions, Mathura, KD Dental College and Hospital, Mathura, Rajiv Academy for Pharmacy, Mathura, Rajiv Academy for Technology and Management, Mathura, Rajiv Academy for Teachers Education, Mathura. Under the umbrella of RK Group of Institutions, GL Bajaj Institute of Management and Research is an autonomous school of management whose campus spreads over 14 acres of a lush green area at Knowledge Park 3, Greater Noida. GLBIMR offers postgraduate diploma in management, a 2 years full-time program approved by AICTE, Ministry of HRD, Government of India, with dual specializations in the areas of marketing, finance, human resource management, international business, and information technology. GLBIMR is highly talked about among the top business schools in the nation. GL Bajaj was conferred with the International Achievers Award 2010 for Management Education Excellence at the 25th Indo-Thai Entrepreneur Summit, Bangkok, for its consistent efforts to serve the country with the best technical and management education and to provide career opportunities to Indian youth. GLBIMR was bestowed with the highly acclaimed honor of Bharatiya Shiromani Award by His Excellency Shri Devanand Kumar, the Governor of Bihar, His Excellency Shri Shekhar Dutt, the Governor of Chhattisgarh, and Shri KPS Gill, former Director General of Police. The RKGI has 2 campuses at Greater Noida and 5 campuses at Mathura, with 14 years of proven excellence in education, about 1,000 qualified faculty members, 10,000 students, and about 7,000 plus alumni base. The institutions under RKGI have undoubtedly acquired a distinguished status in UP, NCR region, and the country as a whole, by breaking new grounds in producing professionals of national and international acclaim. GL Bajaj truly stands out in the crowd of training aspirants by providing world-class lucrative career options. In the present scenario, when the new institutes are mushrooming every nook and corner of the NCR, it is a feat to have created a benchmark in the field of management education. Our expertise, coupled with rock-solid principles, excellent infrastructure, dedicated faculty members, holistic teaching methodology, and strong industrial relation has placed us well above the rest. GLBIMR's commitment has been admired and appreciated and rewarded across the board. Currently, GL Bajaj is a buzzword in the corporate corridors. It is undoubtedly the vision of this educational mogul that has allured 178 companies in a short span of time of 3 months. Reflecting the success of the institute, we firmly believe and adhere to the words of our Honorable Vice Chairman, Shri Pankaj Agarwalji, that this is just a beginning. We at GL Bajaj has a long way to go. Our innovative learning techniques head towards a benchmark. The culture in the campus carves all the difference. We do always remember that it is not the degree but the education that matters. We give an education that helps to dream, plan and execute. Out of many more events, in the last convocation and national and international conference on nanotechnologies, operation research, financial innovations, witnessed the presence of Dr. D. Burandeshwari, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of HRD, Dr. Kripa Shankarji, VC Gautam Buddha Technical University, Dr. S.K. Kar, VC Mahamaya Technical University, and lot many other dignitaries. And all of them have wholeheartedly appreciated the effort of the institute. That institute is putting in grooming its students, committed towards qualitative excellence since 1998. GL Bajaj has been indeed engaged in creating and delivering a winners league with its innovative, integrated pedagogy and multi-dimensional industry interface. With all these words, I wish this summit proves fruitful and memorable to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Sir. Now to share the theme of this HR Summit, we welcome our institute's backbone, CRC Director, Professor Manoj Kumar. Before I go ahead, let me tell you something about Professor Manoj Kumar. Our Director, CRC, has more than 6 years of experience in teaching, 15 years of top-notch corporate experience ranging from GM to VP. He has also been member of organizations like CII, ASSOCHAM, and as National Human Resource and Development, Delhi Chapter. Associated.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Really, I feel proud, privileged to be amidst the corporate executives, those who are having the burning experience and contingent environment and all that. We know very well that the human resource is very, very challenging because it's an active in nature and every human behavior is called, it keeps on changing every time. So, to keeping in mind all these things, we just took an idea to have the HR Summit. So, at the outset, I am owed to the chair, all the dignitaries of the dais, and with their kind consents, I would like to present the theme of HR Summit 2012, the transforming leadership, human resource management in turbulent times. Dear friend, a number of studies have indicated that the effective leadership can make a difference in the organizational performance. But the determinants of the leadership success are not clear-cut. Take an example. Which leadership traits would be rightly seated in terms of the global changing environment? Is it the leadership by traits? Maybe the theory given by the Stockdale, this is a theoretical concept, or leadership as in group activity. Albeit, the successful organizational leadership relies on the combination of the traits, skills, attitudes, environment, and intra-organizational conditions. However, the leadership is the ability to inspire and influence the team towards achieving the common goal. The transactional leadership or the leaders will maintain the operational activities, whereas the transformational leaders would ensure the participatory approach in achieving the sustainable result. But in my mind, which I interacted with the corporates, I could say that the situational leadership is having a great importance and all that. Because you have to deal with the different people at a different way and all that. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the turbulent means disorderly, confused, not calm, or control. It refers to the irregular flow of things. The Peter Drucker, we all are known, that is modern management thinkers, and he has also given the theory of the MBO, management by objectives. He highlighted on the points of the turbulent leadership in his seminal book titled The Managing Turbulent Times. States that the time of turbulence is a dangerous time, but its greatest danger is a temptation to deny the reality. So he refers to the collision that takes place in the human mind, and according to the greatest and most dangerous turbulence today results from the collision between the delusion of the decision makers, whether in the government, in the top, or in the top management of the business, or the union leadership, and the realities. He further added, a time of the turbulence is also one of the great opportunities for those who can understand, accept, and exploit the new realities. Nevertheless, there is a huge gap between the reality as it is and how it is perceived, the way the people want. It points to the fact that the human being typically resists change. But as being a corporate leader, once the management decided to make a change, they don't bother. They shouldn't bother what will be the repercussion and all that. Because without change, the development can never be take place. Yet, the Buddha, has a long time back, said, the only permanent thing in this world is change. What we experience today is rapidly accelerated change at all fronts, resulting in the change, and more change. Here comes to the role of the leader begins. The reality is also that the change is unavoidable and uncomfortable. In order to make the people champion of change, a leader at all levels should act as a change agent. HR has a role here to infuse organizational change and take the strong initiatives for implementing the same. As the great French writer mentioned long ago, if you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to go to the forest to gather the woods. Saw it, nail the planks together, instead teach them the desire for the sea. The robber rescuers come to the rescue and stating, tough time never lasts, but the tough people do. So why do some people soar while others sink? In going through the turbulence, highlights the range of responses available for the people. So keeping in mind the essence of the HR, the summit is segmented in 3 panel discussion apart from the inaugural session. The first panel would be on the Indian corporate retain and reward talent pool in economic slowdown. The eminent speakers who are having the rich experience will share his views or her views on this topic. Second panel discussion is based on the generation Y, the talent acquisition and development. When I was in Mumbai to attend the seminar, I have gone through Rajiv Ranjan's program. He was very beautifully enumerated the concept of the baby boomers, generation X and generation Y, and really it is a great moment for us that he is available to share his views on this topic. The business perspective of the HR, that will be on the third panel discussion, because HR is not only confined to recruiting the right person at right time, at right place, because it is everybody knows all these things, but the thing is that HR also have a great sense of the business so that they can recruit the person we are rightly seated for the different skill sets and different responsibilities. So keeping in mind all these things, we have designed this program and wishing for having a great seminar ahead. Thank you very much.
He served quite a lot of organizations, Defense, R&D, Philips India, Tata. Since 1983, he is serving to the Forbes Marshal. He is an active member of some of the public service organizations, member of CII National Water Council, Energy Council, Standard Activity, member in CII Automation and Instrumentation Division, member in Technology and Energy Expert Committee, Indian Chemical Council, member in MEB 39, Mirror Committee for ISO Energy Management System Standard, Bureau of Indian Standards. Member in 12th Plan Committee for Urban Water and Sanitation, Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India. He represents India at Pacific Area Standard Conference 31, leading to co-option of BIS as a member of PASC in 2008. He enabled a landmark MOU for standards between American National Institutes, ANSI, Commission, ISA US, Instrument Society of India, ISOI, Automation Industry Association, AIA, Metrology Society of India, MSOI, Mission Innovation Industry Academia Partnership, Pune. To know more about him and to know the best practice from him, I would like to call upon Mr. Ramni Iyer.
Morning. Good morning. Thank you. Mr. Tripathi, Mr. Mohapatra, Mr. Pankaj Agarwal, Rajiv Agarwal. I am indeed very pleased to be in front of you today because I had not imagined that I would be addressing a gathering of this nature some time ago. I'm here thanks to Dr. Manoj Kumar. Okay. But I really appreciate your invitation and giving me a chance to share some of my views, some of the experiences. And I do hope what I sort of share with you has meaning to what you are here today, has meaning for what we want to be doing in the next 5 years. At the end of the day, everything boils down to very simple things like what is the potential and what's the performance. Whether somebody is a gatekeeper in a place, or somebody is a chairman, or somebody is a prime minister, it all boils down to performance versus potential. And the entire gamut of HR that we are going to be talking is all relating to how we enable performance to be at the peak right through one's life, career, whatever. So having said that, I have indeed been very privileged. I've been very lucky to have had the kind of experiences that has enabled me to see the perspective and learn some of it and hopefully present some of that to you in front of you. One of our directors, Dr. Naushad Forbes, he would always say about Forbes Marshal, and he would say, half of it is he is in the people, half of it is the other part of the company, where we have infrastructure, we have manufacturing facilities and whatever. But I was always confused because we didn't know which half of the man is representing the company. You can never split a man. So we always firmly believed that a person who is at the peak of his work at home is at the peak of his work in workplace, they are the same. You can never split a man into parts. Okay? We can talk, analyze, look at it, but can you ever split a person? You cannot. Okay, that's the reason lots of things like split personalities will come, and they are good to sort of learn, read, amuse ourselves. But in real life, one can never have a split personality. One needs to have a personality in which a lot of what was said a little earlier about Mr. Bajaj and what we heard about his institute and what Dr. Manoj Kumar put in front of us is important. So the issue is how how do we address those issues is what I would like to share with you. When you look at the India of the past, I will divide my sharing my thoughts with you in this two parts. One leads to India as we know, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. When we're looking at the India of future, I would like to share some of the management expectations and the expectations of younger people, because I think if there is going to be an India, that India has to be built with young people whom you're training, young people whom you're grooming. So it is going to be in the hands of those young people who are going to build the future of India. And in that, in molding, grooming, mentoring, sharing, it is the teachers and HR professionals who are actually going to make that happen. And let me tell you, without any ado, at the end of the day, like I said about performance and potential, it is simply the motivation of the individual which makes all the difference. Nothing else. It is simply the motivation of the individual to excel himself in whatever he does. That makes a big difference. And all of us must address that particular issue. How do we ensure the motivation of the person to be in the right perspective? All the scriptures tell us that you cannot do anything to a human being unless he has the potential inside him. And our job is to discover, mold, keep it grooming. And that being the case, there are two issues. One relates to the HR, which is the HR hygiene, which relates to, the salaries, discipline with which we work, policies of the company, training, and what have you. There is a whole gamut of HR hygiene. But HR hygiene is very important. It has to be in its place. But by itself is not adequate. It is the HR development in which a lot of these inspirational issues come up, where we motivate those people to perform better, which makes all the difference. If you look at the freedom movement, thousands and thousands of people were motivated for what? Gaining freedom. For what? Gaining freedom from a foreign rule. Okay? And how was it achieved? Just look at that. So today in India, we need to have the kind of motivation which is not from getting freedom from a foreign rule, but to build a new India. In building a new India, what is the kind of motivation one can talk about? Way back in 1850, when the British finally took hold of the country from East India Company, they sent a gentleman who was a member of the parliament, Lord Macaulay. He came to India, he toured this country, went back and made a report to the British parliament. He said, I traveled wide in the country. I have not seen a set of people who are so self-contained, so well organized, and leading their lives very peacefully. This country is different. And the next statement that he made was something which is very revealing. He said that if we have to rule this country, we have to create a set of Indians who are taught, British history, who will be taught the British culture, who should be groomed in the British ways of life, so that, and he also said something very, very, at least for me, it was very disturbing, that these set of Indians will look down upon their brethren. Mind you, they succeeded. They created the Indian Civil Service, okay? It was based on the British Civil Service. They succeeded. But now what we need today is just the opposite. All leadership means we need Indians who are very proud of their culture, ancient tradition, all that we can talk about, okay? All that we can talk about the eternal values of Indian culture, yet we need Indians who are imbued with the spirit of what is important today and share, inspire, work with the rest of the Indians to bring up this country. That's the only way we can build this country. So that was the past. But then if you look at the history of India in the last 60 years, ever since 1947 to 1990, we went through a blundering series of ideological confusion, series of isms and logics which were completely illogical. At the end of it, we came to a stage in 1990, we just had 2 days of foreign exchange to pay for our oil imports. We had to pawn our gold to get money to import oil. That was a turning point. Then after that, there has been a total sea change in the society. Now today, we have reserves which are running into maybe $3 or $4 trillion, which is enough for our imports for next 2 years. Yet, we are talking of global crisis, economic crisis, lots of things that we talked about, turbulent times. The HR is about turbulent times. In fact, in the 12th century, Confucius cursed the Chinese, saying that may you live in turbulent times. He didn't have to curse it. We are living in turbulent times. So the idea is, how do we beat the challenge? The issue is that right from 1990, India underwent a deep change, both in terms of the policies of the government, also in relation to what they did to the economy. They completely did away with the licenses and permits, and after 1990, India has galloped, if I can sort of say, due to 2 very important factors. One is industry. Industry has grown from 1990 to today, what it is. I mean, I have lived through the time when I joined the company, we were about 3 crores and we were struggling to get collaborations and what have you. But then today, after 28 years being the company, we are a 700 crore company built entirely with our own hands, not depending on any kind of foreign help. Okay? It's a big change. The unleashing the potential has actually happened in many ways in the way we work this company. I'm not going to talk about folks, Marshall, but I want to share some of the thoughts with you. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is education. Education has grown a millionfold from 1990. Education, which was supposed to preserve the government, has undergone a deep change. And I'm in a city like Pune where I live, we have 80 engineering colleges. We have more than 200 management institutes. We have close to other specialized institutes which run into multi-thousand. So the result that you can see, India today, the demographic dividend they say, is all because of the kind of graduates that you produce. The kind of graduates who come from colleges like this, which is an extremely encouraging sign. In the time I got through, I didn't get a job. I had to learn typing to type applications to 40 companies. There were no jobs. But today, you can see, I was talking to somebody, the number of graduates you have. The number of graduates you have are, I would say in terms of the number, small. They can easily get jobs in today's India. Of course, everybody wants to become member of a big company, a reputed company, or that kind of. But all those companies are not built out of blue. They are built out of sweat and blood for many, many years. Even this Bajaj Institute has been built over several years. Same is case with other companies. That being the case, India became unleashed from 1990 to today. But when we are in the year 2012, the challenges and the kind of issues that we need to deal with in HR are so multifaceted that it is very challenging, it is not easy even to define some of these issues. Industry has become competitive. You see, the economy has become very competitive, which is the reason why you get all goods and services at affordable prices. We have run through 15 elections. Touch wood, India would probably one country which continues to build on democracy. And I am very confident because although I belong to the private sector, I spent time in talking to the government, I worked with the government, I am very confident we will have in Indian administrative service, government officers, who are imbued with a different sense of purpose. In fact, in some of the institutes where I have spoken, students have come and said, sir, I want to join the Indian civil service. Great. Indian administration. Great. That is the way to serve and do work in the new India. So, in the competitive new India, of course, you'll have issues relating to retail, marketing, how to get the customers' footfall yield actual orders, not just, messages in the ear, is something that we need to talk about. And between the ruler, today the ruler is a politician, and the ruled. Between the ruler and the ruled, believe me, there are 7 layers of humanity. Which layer we belong to? Dr. Prahlad talks about, the fortune being at the bottom of the pyramid. But if you look at the pyramid, there are 7 layers. Which layer you want to address a message? What is the kind of communication which gets them actually results is something that some of us must ponder and think about. If you get everyday messages for buying jewelry, do you think any lady will buy jewelry simply because she gets an SMS? Most unlikely. When you are investing in that, you go to a shop and find out what exactly is the cost before you actually make a purchase. And I see hoardings in all big towns today, jewelry shops trying to promote the Mangal Sutra. The jewelry shop promoting Mangal Sutra, you don't need to promote Mangal Sutra to Indians. But they want to promote jewelry through that medium to get attraction to them. So the point is, India has changed a lot, yet it constantly alludes to the kind of culture and practices that we think will actually get the Indians to do it better. Compared to the olden times, today, jobs are better, salaries are better, affordability is better. Yet, it has created a huge amount of aspirations for our citizens. Forget about managers that we are all going to produce. It has created a huge amount of aspirations for Indians all over, who want to take part, who want to say, have a say in what they want to do. So really speaking, if we have to address those, we should look at some of those aspirations of the young students and graduates that we'll be talking to. There is a prophecy which sort of says, what is the likely scenario in the next 10 years? And it says, some of these could be of interest to you. We all travel, a lot of us travel because of business reasons. But they say in the future scenario, people will travel less. People will travel less simply because of the kind of internet and connections we have. Okay? Even as of now, we use a lot of tools like GoToMeeting to have video conferences. Okay? Now, those will be a lot of the day, so travel will become less. And the era of amateurism in management is gone. It has to be knowledge-based, skill-based, and intuitively, innovation-based, intuitively. Managers will have facts, but they will think more out of themselves. Okay? And if they have to act out of themselves, they better be very clear about the vision of the organization to which they belong. If they stray far away and then they have their own ideas, it is quite possible the original vision of many of the founders will get disturbed or it may take a different turn. So the era of professional management, where it is skill-based, fact-based, okay, really interpersonal relationship-based, is going to be the order of the day. Job security is no longer a given thing. There will be no job security. Not because organizations don't offer job security. Organizations all want their employees to serve them for a long time. Like we have the senior management, none of our senior people have actually left the company, including me. For whatever reason, we have committed to a cause, okay? But that may not be the order of the day everywhere. People will have ambitions which will take them elsewhere outside. How do we hold them? That's very important. Now, all Western destinations were very attractive to a lot of people. That will no longer be the case. It will no longer be an attraction to go to US or Australia, because India offers similar opportunities, although in very poor environmental. We live in very poor environment. I was in Bangalore last couple of days. I mean, there's no point in talking about traffic and the way people drive. Okay? But today, opportunities in all our cities are as good as the kind of opportunities that you have elsewhere. Environment is bad, but it is for us to change some of that, and we'll talk about it separately. Now, the new era will also have no silos. You see, a lot of organizations have silos where people have built their walls around them. The new organization will have no silos. Managers have to work seamlessly across many areas. We have young people, when I say young people, the age group of 40, who we allow to cut across all disciplines to deliver. And they will be very successful. And they break all the silos. They break all the silos. I would actually encourage, what is the silo itself for people to think about. Now, they also said the society till now is male dominated. It will no longer be the case. In India itself, the rise of corporate managers, ladies, is very prominent. It is very clear. So, the future of management will be not just male dominated. It will be in the hands of females too. And I think that's a very good development in terms of what it is. So people will be wanting to act out of facts, data, intuition, and independent thinking. Having said this, how do we address those issues would be part of what we want to address in this conference. But if I can sort of say, what are the expectations of the students who come into the colleges? A couple of them, and this is based on some of my interviews with people, young people. I travel, I meet people, and I sort of, pick the brains. And there is a young gentleman who did very well in IT. He designed wonderful things for persistent systems in Pune, where the company is making crores of rupees. But he said, forget it, I'm off to US. He went to US. He got his doctorate. The Department of Atomic Energy in US offered him fast-track citizenship. He refused. He's come back to India. He says, freedom for me to do what I want is what I'm looking for. Our organization will give me that freedom. Is the organization allowing me to work for solutions which are also society related? Is going to be a second expectation. Can we address that particular issue? So, really speaking, the youngsters of tomorrow will have to have the freedom, will have to have the grooming to enable them to perform, at the same time solve problems which are society related. And issues related with challenges, risks, all these are old hat. All HR hygiene is old hat. HR development, where it puts a finger on the man's motivation, is going to be key. So, many of the young graduates today, I know they are no longer chasing bank balances and career growth. in 3 years I'll be this, 4 years I'll be this manager, all that is old hat. Okay? Today, if you want to retain people, you have to ensure that they are given the kind of challenges which enable them to prove themselves. And that is a very important issue. All organizations which enable the, some employees to perform to the kind of aspirations come from within, or the kind of organizations are going to prosper. And of course, I don't have to say this, we all live in India and we have a culture which is based on certain amount of family values, certain amount of honesty, integrity. In all our families, we always say, speak the truth and whatever. Integrity is practiced right from there. Okay? With all that, we have to combine various issues relating to touching the motivation of the individual. And if you can keep that individual motivated to work continuously in terms of what he wants to do in his life, okay, even certain amount of money and whatever, there's a very small part of it. If we are able to do, then we will be able to say that we are able to keep that individual performing to his potential, not just doing a job. So if we have to produce the future managers, we have to look at some of these issues very, very critically. And there is something very unique biases because of faith, language, ethnicity, color of the skin. That's the India that we want to build. In building that India, we need to spot all those people. I don't want to call them Indians. We are all Indians. We all come from the same soil. How we as HR managers tap that little thing which is the motivation. Tap that little thing that makes a man totally honest and true to his. So we have to provide causes for which they can need to work, apart from companies. And if we are able to do that, I think we have done a job. We have done a job not only for ourselves, but we have done a job for the next generation. And any society where the values are handed down from one generation to another, remains stable. I have traveled different from what it was before. So for me, it is simply Sare Jahan Se Acha Hindustan Hamara. All that I want to share. Thank you.
It's the excellent way to start. Here we are not talking about an organization or a state or in particular. We are talking about India developing the nation. Sir, thanks a lot, because most of the time we usually talk about paradigm India or a brand India. But we forget that India as a country and we as a responsible countrymen, we do have certain responsibilities. Moving ahead to our next session. Once Roger Enrico, Vice President, Chair Dr. Mahapatra. Can we have a round of applause?
Very good morning to you all. We are running behind schedule, so I'll probably fast forward my presentation. But I know that our chief guest is yet to speak. But however, I will do proper justice. Let me first take this opportunity to thank the management of this institute, especially Ms. Pankaj Agarwal. And I'm here because of Professor Manoj Kumar. He's been visiting with me, and it's really a wonderful experience here. Whenever I'm probably engaged with various management institutes, I feel that whatever we learn from the industry we can only give. And industry, institution participation only makes things richer, and it's a win-win situation. In such programs, when we see so many professionals and students investing their time, I always advise them that there will be a lot of deliberation in there, there will be a lot of learning that's going to happen, not only from the faculty, but also the participants who are there, because trying to take the opportunity to learn. But the ethics lies where if you pick up one or two things from the learning of today and try to implement. I've been personally doing that, and I find that it's very enriching experience. So while you're knowing a lot of download will be there about your experience, you please remember that go back and apply in a place of work, or if you're students, you should go back, see that you're improving towards how to learn. Then it's worth spending a day past laurels are no longer valid for the next day. A lot of impetus and also makes us think beyond what we think we are capable of.